What's going on? Welcome to another segment of Alternative Facts. And this week we're going to talk about the Houston Texans and their quarterback situation. And who better to talk about that situation right here but Phillip Steward. And Phillip is not only a close friend of mine, but he's also a four-year starter from University of Houston, right here in Houston. Played high school football here in Houston as well. Hightower High School. So, and he was picked up by St. Louis Rams. So he had the experience of playing in the NFL, and also can give us a little bit of insight on what's next. Whenever a guy gets drafted, what is the next process? Leading up to training camp and mini camp, before we get into day one of being an NFL player.
Well, first we start off with some teams have a rookie mini camp for 3 days. Like right now, most teams having their rookie mini camp. So you be there from Friday to Sunday, and then the vets going is just rookies. And basically the coach gets to just see all y'all, on the field, day-to-day stuff, practicing, lifting weights. They just basically saying, what type of guy you are. And then next week, I think when all the vets report, that's when everybody gonna be on the field, film. We watch film every day. Probably be there, start our day around 6 in the morning. Probably get done around 4 in the afternoon, 5. You just basically there all day, watching film, practice, eating, lifting weights. So you're doing a lot, but you learning the playbook. For the rookies, you're learning the playbook. That's all you want to know.
That's the
focus.
Part, right?
That's the hardest part, yes, because you got all this, this media attention around you, but the playbook, because you don't know that playbook come training camp. That's when they do the cutting and stuff like that, and you got to know the playbook. So right now, I think a lot of them just not getting their playbook. So a lot of them just in the playbook, and then when those vets get in there, now it's the vets been there. So, the vets, they're going to be playing around and stuff like that, but you got to try to stay away from that because.
So I know, so with the playbook, that's what Deshaun Watson's going to be facing here. And I know Bill O'Brien's playbook is probably not the most simplest one. So I don't even know, how could that be? Was that a little intimidating for Watson?
For a quarterback, I think it's maybe different than the rest of the quarterback. They got to know everything. You got to know what the lineman doing, what the defensive players do. You got to know so much. So for him, I think, take it day by day, learn what you can. Don't try to overdo it because you try to learn it all because you want to be the starter. You're not going to really learn nothing. So take it day by day, take in what you can, and just basically just study every chance you get.
And speaking of Deshaun Watson, do you think that it should be an open quarterback competition as far as Savage and Watson? Should Savage be the incumbent starter and then we'll see if he can handle it and then we'll put Watson in? Or should we just have them compete from day one?
No, I think they should have an open quarterback competition based off the fact that you don't want him to come in and say, well, you're going to be number 2 and Savage going to be number 1. Because now he's not going to push Savage. If you competing, that's going to push both of them. So at the end, you're going to get the better of both of them. So, and then you can make the decision at the end. So I don't feel like they should just label a starter and then a backup. Let them go out there and compete for it. When the ones go out there, let him do so many reps, then let Deshaun get it up with the ones. So you can see maybe he fits our offensive style better than Savage, or maybe Savage, we should go with Savage because he know more. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like they should have a quarterback competition.
I just hate the open quarterback competition, me personally, because I don't know when it has been a good turnout when it's been 2 people, when you say 50-50 before the season going into it, and and the season is actually a success.
I think
it's so tough. You never see that,
That's true.
When I feel like when it's a designated starter, that's when the team is all in, and then that's it, and there's no looking back.
But you're absolutely right, Corey. But that only comes into play when you already originally have a quarterback set, from previous years.
Right.
At this point, when you're looking at your depth chart, like we were doing, and there's no trust for Tom Savage. Now we drafted a quarterback in the first round. That means we're looking for a quarterback. We wanted a quarterback. So that's why you have the competition. Now, if we know already previously last year, we said, okay, Savage is going to be our quarterback moving forward, that'll be a different story. But we actually not only traded a pick, but we actually moved up to pick up a quarterback.
Right.
So there has to be some sort of competition right there.
I mean, honestly, with me, even if it's a competition or if Savage is a starter, I still feel like somehow the momentum will swing and Watson to become the starter. I just feel like he's that kind of a guy, that kind of a personality in the locker room, and I feel like the players are just going to naturally gravitate to him, look at him, and they're like, you know what, this guy's our leader. So it doesn't matter what they do, honestly. I feel like Watson's going to win it out.
Okay, so enough about the quarterback talk. I know in the second round, the Texans drafted Zach Cunningham from Vanderbilt. I guess this is hopefully in the midst of filling Brian Cushing's shoes, because I think his time's ticking, unfortunately, after all the injuries and the tenure he's had in the NFL. How do you feel about the pickup, that the Texans got with Zach Cunningham?
I think it's great for him. He big. He got the size to play in the middle. And then I think for these next few months, he should be in Brian Cushing's back pocket, learning everything. Because Brian Cushing played the game for a while. Now it's, time for all the time don't beat nobody. So I feel like his time coming to an end. But I think the guy should just at least stay in his back pocket these last few weeks. These last months before training camp, and learn as much as he can because Brian Cushing can teach him a lot.
The last thing, for Phillip right here, we've heard a lot about the, NFL hazing the rookies. And, what is the worst thing you think that's happened to you during your time, within
Well,
the period?
I was in St. Louis. Jeff Fisher didn't really play the Ricky Hayes, so I didn't really get it. I didn't really get it like I was supposed to get, but I done seen it where, man, one day we came back from practice, everybody's cars was gone. You wonder where your car at, nowhere to be found. You wonder where's my car? Or I just seen one guy's car filled with popcorn, and then cleaning that is probably the worst thing you can do.
I bet.
You might as well trade that car in.
Grease. Yeah,
you might as well just trade your car in or just give it away because taking it to get it clean, even though we took it to a car wash, I was like, man, it's nothing to do. It's just too much. So, but I also seen the haircutting, I D-line, they did some of the rookies they spelled their name in their head. It was just bad. It was bad. So. But one thing I had to do was I had to keep the room filled with snacks. I had to go get it. That's when I got a Sam's card. And I bought, the room, I'm talking about all the way to the ceiling, just snacks everywhere. And half of the time the linebackers didn't even eat it. The other guys, coaches, everybody came in there and ate it. And I just kept filling it up. So it's basically what I had to do. That was my job.
Well, thank you once again, Phillip, for coming out and talking to us.
Appreciate it, man.
Appreciate
Thank you.
that. And so that's it for this episode and the segment for Alternative Facts. We'll catch y'all on the next one. Thank you.